I do the same thing everybody in here does. I started out as an ASEP technician. I went through school, spent my time, turned wrenches, then I start teaching. That's my primary stay, is teaching. Matter of fact, I've been teaching for 20 years, ASE certified automotive instructor, and that's my passion. I love doing that. That's the first thing. Second of all, you guys can do anything. It doesn't make any difference. I just got lucky and got a television show. It's no big deal, but my primary job is teaching, and that's the best part. That's what I like to do, and spread that automotive knowledge. So I just kind of want to break this down into a couple of things as we start going through here, but I want to look at it, and I want to look at it professionalism. I want to go through ethics, and then I want to go through and talk to you guys about what's going on out there and how we can actually do it. But you've probably seen this 1,000 times. So what I want to do is I kind of want to break it down into different categories. We talk about our students and our students a lot, and I'll reference them as we go. I talk about the shop owners. We talk about that, and technicians. So this is interactive. So first of all, welcome. Welcome to the AVI Conference. And if you're looking at it on the rerun, this is going to be great. So buckle up. We're going to go for about 2 hours. We got 2 hours, right? Oh, I'm sorry. That's fine, because I was raised on flat rate. So we can cram 20 minutes into 2 hours. That's for sure. We're going to get paid. So we're good. You guys, when we talk about professionalism and ethics, we talk about stuff that's going on like attitude, ethics, diversity, all those different things that are happening out in the field. You've heard it 1,000 times if you're a shop owner, but how many students do we have here? Raise your hand if you're a student or just a student. That's phenomenal. Good, good. So you guys, I'll be pointing to you. We'll look at that aspect of it, what you need to do for the dealers and what you need to do for the shop owners. How many shop owners do we have here? Shop owners? All right, fantastic. That's good, because you guys are going to look at a different way that these guys are thinking as we go through here. And how many technicians do we have? Technicians? Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, well, I got the cuts on my wrist to prove it. Still turning wrenches, no big deal. I know what you guys are going through. Matter of fact, I know what all three of you people are going through out there, because we do it on a daily basis. It's not just teaching, it's running a shop, it's running a business, it's trying to get these guys out there, it's coordinate with advisory members. So I know it's a very, very difficult task. And like Phil said, there's a huge shortage going on out there. So we'll talk about these areas. We'll go through, we'll look at each one of them. But I want to look at it, like I said, in the aspect of each one. What do we have to do to survive out there? What are we going to do? How are we going to do it? And what's the bottom line? So we'll start out with pride and workmanship. Obviously, you guys heard this a million times. Pride and workmanship is defined as a state of feeling proud. ASE states the code of ethics. We'll look at that at the end here, but just realize when we're going through this stuff, manage your time, estimate your efforts. These things, I'm not going to read it word for word, but I just want to look at it in three ways. So if you're a shop owner out there, obviously, you're trying to make money, you're running a business. That's what it's all about. But then if you're a technician, you're up against the flat rate, you're trying to get paid, you're trying to do what you do, but you want to do the job right. So you got to manage your time and manage your efforts. If you're a student, well, at your school, take a lot of time. Do it right, do the job right, those ethics. I know a lot of shop owners in here. If I was to ask you what would you want in a student, you would probably want ethics. You want them to show up on time, you want them to work through the day, put their phone away and do what they do. But we'll see sometimes maybe that phone's not a bad thing today. A lot of these guys are using it and doing things different ways. So as we go through here, you can see, recheck your work. I mean, this is just, you've heard this a million times, but as a shop owner, is he checking and rechecking his work? Technicians today, these guys, these students out there are brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. If you think something different, you're absolutely wrong. I'm telling you, they're brilliant. They fix cars that I've never dreamt of fixing. They find ways to fix cars. They do research to fix cars. So you just got to be a little bit open to some of their suggestions, maybe change your ways a little bit. We've been doing the same thing for 25, 30 years out there, and I think it's time to change a little bit. So once we go through there, you see, walk away when you get frustrated. You guys know all the rules. Be proud. You're a professional. That's something that's changed. We need to be proud. We need to go out there, okay? I mean, God made man over 200,000 years ago, and he didn't like it, so he made Eve. He did a better job. But here's the deal. You guys, our makes and models change every 6 months. The doctor's been out there working on the human body for years and years and years, and there's consortiums that get together, and they actually go in there and they look through the book, and my wife's a PA, and she sits there and looks in the book and tries to find out what's wrong. And we got to figure out what's wrong on this make and model that just come out, and every 6 months technology's changing, makes and models are changing, so I know what you're going up against. So, you know, these guys, they do that research. The technicians, they're doing the research, and shop owners, we may have to look at it a little different light and kind of get together and work together. That's the big thing out there. We're going to have to work together. Different but not bad. That's the theme through here. It's different but not bad. There's a lot of stuff going on out there that's different, the way that they work, the way that they interact. And I'll give you some examples. Etiquette and dress. You know, we got a uniform. You guys provide the uniforms. You guys know the language, the speech, the actions, how to do it. But, you know, we're dealing with now cell phones and social media and stuff like that. So for my shop owners out there, you may have to sit down with these students, technicians, and talk to them a little bit about this etiquette and what does it mean to be a technician. You know, we're not sitting out in the Walmart parking lot anymore. These people, they're spending $100, $200 labor rate to go in there and get their car fixed. They're expecting, you know, Mr. Goodwrench or Mr. Motorcraft to fix their car. And in order to do that, they have to hold that. You have to hold yourself in high esteem. If you're a student out here, please, if you're an automotive student, I know from years the automotive class was down the hill and it was those other guys. It was that workforce education. You see it changing. Everybody sees it changing. There's a lot of stuff that's going on. I teach at a college, a 4-year college. And what happens is we used to be down the hill. And I'll tell you, that's not the case anymore. Florida has workforce funding. All of a sudden, the people up the hill from administration's asking, what's going on down there? How come these guys are making $50, $60, $70, $100,000 a year? What changed? I got someone going through a 4-year course over here at accountant, got a job, make $18,000 a year. Not a bad thing, but you got to realize your worth and what you guys are doing. It's absolutely amazing. It's amazing out there. It is. I know. It's tough. It is tough. I'm not trying to paint a pretty picture. If you're in a shop and a shop owner, you know what it takes. The phone's ringing, this has happened, that's happening. There's a lot of stuff. But please, we have to lift up this industry and we have to hold ourselves in that high esteem. Who you are, when you go out in public, who you are, what you post on social media, that's what they're looking at. You're representing your business. That's all there is today. When you're doing crazy stuff, they're thinking, hey, that's what's going on over there at that business. So you see a little picture over there, that's pretty cool. That's a buddy of mine, Christian Winnie, got a job. He's proud of his uniform. Post the job, here I go. This is what I'm doing, this is my career, all right? Be proud of it. Handling diversity, this is a big one. This kind of ties into that conflict management. Handling diversity is huge when we get out there because we have a lot of stuff going on, a lot of different things going on. Celebrate everybody out there. Employees, it's all equal. Respect the differences. That's the big thing. There's more and more differences. Come on, if you've been doing this for years, you know you're at some flat rate shop. They pulled the toolbox in, the guy with the truck pulled the toolbox in, and we all sat there and we watched. We put our hands in our pocket, and we're going to try to figure out how's he going to get the toolbox out of there. It's pretty much going to tell you if he's got some common sense or not. Would we walk over in there and help him? Nah. It's flat rate, man. On come Friday, I'm going to be reading my newspaper. I'm not going to get paid. If it's up to me, I hope he doesn't get any work, and I hope he leaves tomorrow. That was 20 years ago. 20 years ago. Today, you better work together. Today, you better have a good relationship. You better be able to work with everybody in the shop. Work with the shop owners. Got to remember, guys, they're paying the bills. $150 an hour labor rate, why am I making 20? Well, open up a business and you'll find out. A lot of costs are involved, okay? You guys out there, when they're technicians, these kids come into the place, man, this kid's a nuisance, he's driving me nuts. Well, he's going to help you. He's going to help you. He's going to help you out with flat rate. He's going to help you make money. So you're going to have to work with them as well. And students, you just better be respectful. These guys put in time, a lot of effort, all right? A lot of cut knuckles, all right? A lot of pain out there in this industry to get where they are today and get that respect that they deserve out there today, and I can tell you they're getting it because I get to do this all around the country, and it's fun to listen and talk to you guys and understand what's going on out there and how much this has changed. This industry has changed. So get to know them all. Be flexible, all right? You guys, shop owners, if you guys handle diversity, you may have a guy that wants to come in at 10 o'clock every day. Everybody knows out here if you're having a problem hiring, yeah, we're having a problem hiring. I have some students that come in every day at 10 o'clock. Do I kick them out of class? Nope. I find me an advisory member that says, hey, I could take this kid at 10 o'clock and work them till 6 o'clock. Better than not having anybody. Students, if that's you, be honest. Be honest. Go up to the shop owner, say, man, I hate getting up, but I'll be here every day at 10 o'clock, and you better show up every day at 10 o'clock. A little bit of flexibility. It's not bad different. It's not bad, all right? It's just different a little bit. It's not bad. dealing with conflicts, all that stuff. You guys know most of this stuff, all right? We have a, you guys, do we have any heavy suspension guys out there? Love to do suspension, man. Just let's tear into it. Good, couple of you, see? How many guys want to put that scan tool in their hand and go out there and diagnose cars? Yeah, well, first of all, my hat's off to all you guys here because number one, you're taking a huge initiative to come out here and even do training. So this group right here is the group that's leading the country. That's all there is to it. That's what you guys are doing. I mean, it's not easy to come and commit to training. It's not an easy thing to do. Students, here you are. Amazing what you're sitting with and the company that you're sitting with. So just keep that in mind. You got that suspension guy, shop owners, and you have that drivability guy. You're going to have to get to know them. Just get to know them. If that guy wants to dive in on those transmissions or suspension, let him. You got that guy with the scan tool, pair him up with somebody that works with scan tools. They'll flourish that way. All right? Other than that, we'll run them out. We'll look at that in a second. But you also have that smartest kid in the class. You guys all heard known him before.
1 minute. 1 minute, please. Time, thank you. Could you all please put down your pens and bring your papers to the front of the room? Thank you. Well done. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry, you're too late. Gave you plenty of warnings about time. You failed. Sorry.
Excuse me, do you know who I am?
I have absolutely no idea.
Good.
Think out of the box. Think out of the box, all right? And these guys, girls, these kids today, they do. Please, please, if you're a technician or a shop owner, just, we got to change that shift. We have to have a paradigm shift when it comes to thinking of these guys and when we get them out there. And I'll give you guys some tips when you start getting through there. But, communication, all this stuff that we're used to, the communication, the jargon, the stuff that's going on, the communication skills out there. I can't just go out there. I can't say to a customer anymore, and I try to teach the students this. They're going to have to listen to the tech, and the techs are going to have to do this to the student. I got a short-term fuel trim of a -25, so the computer's adding fuel. The computer's adding fuel. Did you look at your oxygen sensor? It's probably going rich. It's, and you're giving these all this jargon because the ECT and the TCS and the TPMS is all probably shorted. Whew, they're gone. Customers are gone. You guys don't all have to talk to each other. You got to talk to customers. So we need to bring it down a level. We need to relate to somebody that's my age, that's dealing with carburation. Can we bring them through carburation up to multi-port injection, up to direct injection, and kind of give them 5 minutes? And they want to be heard. These guys want to be heard. They want to give their point of view. So if you give them the 5 minutes in the front end, you're going to get it back in the back end. I can guarantee you that. Avoid the jargon, ECT. Do more listening. Listen to what they have to say. Okay? 2 ways. I'll tell you what, I was doing Tech Garage on the air, national television, and I told them that the Freon went from the compressor all the way over to the, It went from that to the condenser, and then it moved on. The Freon, the Freon, the Freon. And I got a 1-page email telling me that how wrong that is, that it's not Freon, that's a brand name way back in the 70s. It's refrigerant. Is it? I mean, man's right. But then I had somebody else write in and says, well, I'm sorry, I'll get you a tissue. I mean a Kleenex. I mean, it goes both ways. Just listen to them. Listen to them when they're speaking, listen to them when they're talking, and don't put it in the automotive jargon. Just kind of bring it down a little bit, all right? Big one here, presentation of a vehicle. These two, I'm giving this mostly to my students, but as our industry shifts, as our industry changes, I know technicians and shops, we still have to be aware of this stuff, all right? You guys know, and I'm sure all the classes out here in the business classes, they'll tell you how easy it is to lose a customer, but how hard it is to gain one. This is what we do every time, all right? I'm not trying to tell you how to do your job, but I'm telling you all this little stuff. For my students out there, once again, one grease smudge ruins the job. That's it. Watch the seat, watch what you're doing, return the mirrors, all this stuff. We've heard this 1,000 times. Writing ability, same thing. You guys go out there, they're automotive students. We're not English majors, all right? So you guys, are we going to be able to write these tickets? Are we going to be able to communicate clearly? You're going to have to work that out. We're going to have to sit down with the shop owners. Shop owners, it's going to trickle down to the technicians. Technicians, you're going to have to mentor. And that's the whole point of this. We'll get to that in a second. But we're going to have to mentor. We're going to have to change a couple of things when we get out there to make this stuff happen. If you guys know, start with the main idea first, put the keywords in, cut the clutter, and just get to the point. All right? Nobody wants a big old story. Get to the point. Next one on here is honesty. That's a big one. That's huge. That's huge. Shop owners, you're going to have to work with these guys. Anybody here ever work on a car? Put your hand up if you ever worked on a car. If you ever worked on a car. All right, now put it down. Keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. I said this was interactive. Now put it down if you've never broke nothing on a car. You lying, who put it down? If you work on a car, you're going to break something. Awesome, thank you guys. If you worked on a car, you're going to break something, all right? Absolutely, it's just part of the beast. You guys know it if you've been in it for years. If you're a shop owner, we're going to have to make accommodations for that. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean that our students are going to go out there and these students are going to break stuff? Yeah. We're going to break 10 times a week? No. Remember, these shops, these schools, wherever you guys are from, we have a limited supply of cars. I mean, if you want to hire somebody on a 2014 Malibu, we're your school. We may have 3 cars. So we're going to give them the ethics. These students are going to have the ethics. They're going to have the workability. They're going to be able to find the knowledge. But they need you. They need you. The technicians, they need you. You can't just shun them. You can't just go on. Shop owners, you're going to have to pair them up. They need you. So we're all going to have to work at this together, all right? This was huge. Practice being honest, small things, white lies, all right? And I'll tell you exactly what happened. I was once again doing, I think it was Motorhead Garage or Tech Garage, and I was talking about an oxygen sensor. And an oxygen sensor, you guys, if you know the theory of an oxygen sensor, it reads by the pressure or difference of oxygen. So there's 21% oxygen in the outside atmosphere, and then whatever's in the tailpipe, a lot of oxygen or lack of oxygen is going to determine the voltage, and that's how the car's going to run. Well, you're in the middle of shooting. I said there's 20% oxygen in the outside atmosphere, and there was 2% in the exhaust. So we know we have a lean condition. Let me tell you, 84 million watching the TV show on Discovery and Motor Trend. I got an email. Here we go. All right? A guy wrote in. Let me tell you something. He says, the propaganda I was spreading by saying there's 20% oxygen in the outside atmosphere will kill people. Wow. So I got to thinking about it, and I wrote him back. And I says, I'm sorry I misspoke. Was I wrong? Absolutely I was wrong. Did I think it made that much of a difference? Not at all. Come to find out, he wrote me back and he says, yeah, I'm an anesthesiologist. Huh. Well, what does an anesthesiologist do? Well, he calculates the rate of oxygen, puts you to sleep. So at 20%, you're dead. At 21%, you're going to make it. So I was wrong. I was 100% wrong. And I was going to kill people in his line of work by spreading that kind of propaganda. You know, you guys, most of us would be like, oh, whatever, this fool, just who cares? No, I wrote him back and said I misspoke. I'm sincerely sorry for doing that. You guys, you need to do that. Stuff's going to break, all right? Come to find out, he wrote back, we've made a good relationship. He's just an old retired anesthesiologist that wanted to go out and spread some news at the coffee shop, man. He set that Motor Trend guy straight. Good for him. He should set that motor guy straight. The Motorhead guy, Motor Trend guy, should know what he's talking about. If you're going to get on national TV, at least say your facts right. All right? But everybody messes up. Everybody messes up. So you guys, when we're breaking cars, bring it to the technician. Technician, bring it to the shop owner. Be patient. We're going to have to eat some of it, but, you know, it all comes back to that mentoring, and we'll look at that here coming up, all right? Attitude, attitude, attitude. This is it right here, guys. And I'm going to read this one because I love it, the Charles Swindoll attitude. If we can all just embrace a good attitude, that's going to make a big difference, all right? Be grateful. Bad things are going to happen. Learn from them. Learn something new every day. This is stuff you guys hear again and again and again, but you can't hear it enough as an automotive technician, as a shop owner, as a student. You can never hear this enough. You guys walk into there, this is what it's all about. The longer I live, the more I realize the impact of attitude on my life. Attitude to me is more important than facts, more important than the past, than education, than money, than circumstances, than failures, than success, than what other people think, say, or do. It's more important than the appearance, giftedness, or skill. I will make or break a company, it will make or break a company, or a church or a home. The remarkable thing is we have a choice every day regarding the attitude we embrace. We cannot change our past. We cannot change the fact that people will act in a certain way. We cannot change the inevitable. The only thing we can play on is the one string we have, and that's our attitude. I am convinced, this is Charles Swindoll, I am convinced that life is 10% what happens to me and 90% how I react to it. Bottom line, that's it. All right, and so with it, you're in charge of your attitudes. Please, you're in charge of your attitudes. Student, you're in charge of your attitudes. Can't jump from shop to shop to shop. You're the common denominator. You're going to have to work with where you got. Technicians, you got to work with these guys. Shop owners, you got to work with all of them. All right, we got to come together. This is huge, absolutely huge. Ethics, I'm going to skip over a couple of these and look at some of this stuff and just kind of give you an idea of what we need to do. They said I had 2 hours. We got to cram it down into 20 minutes. So here we go. All right, you guys know all this stuff. Set the bar, the code of ethics. You guys seen it before. Strive to produce nothing but first-class workmanship. It's still available. This is 20 years old. ASE code ethics. I didn't write this. They wrote it. But we still look at this. We still look at this. I think shop owners, you may want to sit down and just put this back out there. Let's go. All right, take advantage of every opportunity to increase my knowledge. Bam, a room full. A room full. Increase your knowledge. Listen, you're not going to keep up. Man, these classes, these trainers here, unbelievable. I got to work with some of them, get to do some stuff at AVI, I met most of them before, but you got the best trainers in the world. The best trainers on the planet are sitting right here amongst you. Man, you better go in there, you better soak up this knowledge and listen to it. Because it's crazy what they have to do to prepare for this stuff, to learn this knowledge, to know it. And these manufacturers and vendors, the first-hand information, they're the ones that are getting it. We get it. Shop owners, you get it. It goes down to the technicians, and the schools get it last. We're 3-4 years behind in these schools, setting you guys up for success. Okay, but you guys see what's going on out there, the autonomous driving, the cars, the stuff. It's unbelievable. Students, if you're shop owners, and this is not the crew, this is the crew that's sending their guys. If your shop owners don't have a training plan, that's one of the questions you ask. Do you have a plan? Do you send you guys for training? Can we go to training? Because in 4 years, you're obsolete, all right? I'll recommend the owner to work to the vehicle. You guys know this. Treat my own. Maybe that's not a good one for me. I drive a 2006 Mercury Marquis. What? You're on TV and you drive a 2006 Mercury Marquis? Technicians, help me out here, buddy. It's a 300,000 mile car and I don't have to work on it. I gotta love it, all right? That's exactly what I drive. Attempt to correct any mistake made by another technician. Big one. You guys, let's look at 6 just for a second here. Come on. Come on, man. You guys are just, the shop's ringing, the other shop. We can't be bashing these other shops. We have to work together. I don't care how bad they are in your town. Your reputation will precede you. They'll come to you. They'll figure out who's good and who's not, who's honest and who's not. Really, really fast. Really, really fast. Especially today with these cars in this industry, the way that it's going, it doesn't take long to be a good, reputable shop, all right? We pulled a head gasket off at the school, put the head off, and when we pulled the head off, the head gasket said this side down. I don't think we should have been seeing that. This side down, and we knew who did the job. So maybe the phone was ringing. You know, maybe they were busy. Maybe they just slapped it on there. Maybe they had 6 customers coming in. You guys know what it's like to run a shop. Technicians, you know what it is to get it out the door. So we have to work together in that, okay? Honesty's a big one too. You guys, it's just, you know, we have to be open. Our shop owners have to understand, you know, my tool's missing. Well, you know, the guy took it and borrowed it. Did you talk to him or did you fire him? Maybe he needed to take a scan tool, or maybe he needed to take something home and get his father's car running tonight because he had to go get a chemo appointment tomorrow. I have no idea what he's up against. Or did he take it to the pawn shop and pawn it for crystal meth? Right? I mean, it happens. You're going to have to get to know these people, know these techs. Shop owners, don't sit in your office and not get out there in your shop and know your technicians, all right? Service integrity, that's a big one. Absolutely a big one, all right? I'm going to wrap it up with a couple more here. Just, you guys, digital natives, that's what we are today. Cell phones, text message, iPad. This next one I'm going to show you is a minute long. It just kind of blows my mind, and it's old. It's old. Digital natives, that's what we're up against. Cell phones, we're up against using this information. We're up against all this technology. Shop owners, give the technicians some time to research. Technicians, teach the students how you're researching this information and finding this stuff. Students, 50% of the time you're going to be in the book than you are fixing the car. I know it's fun to work on cars. I know that's why you go to school. When are we going to turn wrenches? When are we going to turn wrenches? Well, bottom line, doing the same thing over and over again and expect different results is insanity. All right? Are we going to keep up the insanity, or are we going to work together? That's what the future looks like in the automotive industry. I can tell you that right now. All right? I've seen it. I've been on both sides of the fence. How do we do it? You've been up there preaching for 25 minutes. You haven't told us how to do it. Well, this one's going to hurt. A couple of things we talk about all the time. Do a lot of podcasts, talk to a lot of shop owners, talk to people. Pay. I'm not going to get into y'all's business about pay, but I'm just going to tell you right now, the kids today, if he's going to take Starbucks for $15 an hour or the shop for $15 an hour, he's going to Starbucks. He's going to Starbucks. You know, it's hot. It's a rough industry. It's very difficult. You can't throw them out there. You guys pay. Pay's going to have to change according to what we're making out there. You guys got them lined up, the cars. Team approach. Been saying it the whole time. Shop owners, get out there. Mingle with your techs. Make sure they're paired up with the right guy, with the right student. Go down to your local school. Team approach. Doctors use consortiums. Why don't we? Go in and, you know, eye doctor or your doctor, they're all together. They're back there talking. How are we going to fix this situation? How are we going to fix this problem? It's going to have to be a team. Flat rate, big time. Can't throw them out there. Cannot. You better go ahead and give them some hourly money. My suggestion to you, shop owners and techs, is mentor them 6 months a year whenever you feel comfortable, and they'll make you some flat rate money. I guarantee you that. But it's going to take time. If you put them on flat rate, they're gone. They're going to starve. They're going to leave. So hourly, and then the big one right there at the end, right there. Mentor, mentor, mentor. All right? I'm going to leave it at that. Mentor, mentor, mentor. That's it. You guys have to put these guys with your techs. Your techs have to go with your better techs. Your techs have to hang out with the shop owners. It's the only way we're going to survive out there. It's going to have to be a team effort and mentor. John Maxwell, he wrote this, says, my responsibility to the people I mentor is to add value. My goal is to always to help them to become more than they are, not trying to make them something they're not. There you go. There is your focus on. If you don't know how to mentor, We'll get this stuff. I'll give this stuff to the AVI guys. We'll get it out there. You guys can have this PowerPoint. You can have all the slides. You can have the thing. You look up John Maxwell's book, he'll tell you how to mentor. Strengths, advice, temperament, support, track record, game plan, passion, feedback, choices, and encouragement. Man, that's huge. Absolutely encouragement. Okay, so you guys, phenomenal. Just remember, all right, that's all heavy stuff. So I'm an automotive technician. So remember, you have brains in your head and you have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself in any direction you choose. That's about my level of English, Dr. Seuss, all right? And if you think it doesn't work, let me just tell you it works, all right? This is a student of mine. And this is Joey. He says, I wanted to let you know I'll be starting at Ray Hall 14th of this month, and I wanted to thank you for being my teacher. And teach me the best 2 years you've ever had. Man, that's what it's all about. That's exactly what it's all about. Technicians, you want that feeling, mentor somebody. Shop owners, you want that feeling, mentor somebody. Bring them into this industry. Guys, we're working in the greatest industry in the world. Second need only to healthcare right now. Nuts. You guys, his parking lots are packed full of cars. You can't even get them out there. I got 16 jobs on my desk. How come I can't send them any students? You're looking at it. Mentor, 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 all right?